Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. There are moments in life when everything around you seems silent. You look at your circumstances and wonder if anything is changing. You wonder if your dreams are too distant, if your prayers have been forgotten, or if the things you deeply desire are nothing more than beautiful fantasies. But what if this quiet season is not a sign of absence? What if it is the sacred pause before an overwhelming arrival? What if everything you have been preparing for is gathering itself behind the scenes, waiting for the perfect moment to appear all at once? Most people misunderstand the nature of transformation because they judge life through appearances. They believe that if they cannot see movement, nothing is happening. Yet the greatest forces in existence work invisibly long before they become visible. A seed beneath the soil appears lifeless, but within it unseen processes are unfolding. Roots are forming, life is awakening. And then one day, what was hidden suddenly breaks through the surface. To the observer, it appears sudden. But in truth, it was being prepared all along. You must understand this deeply. There are blessings that do not arrive piece by piece. They arrive in clusters. There are seasons when years of invisible preparation become days of visible manifestation. There are moments when opportunities, relationships, abundance, healing, and unexpected breakthroughs come together with such speed that you wonder how everything changed so quickly. But nothing changed quickly. It was simply that your eyes finally caught up with what your consciousness had already been cultivating. Many people delay their own miracles because they are constantly searching outside themselves for evidence. They demand proof before they believe. But life does not respond to doubt. Life responds to inner conviction. The unseen world responds to certainty. The outer world reflects the assumptions you consistently entertain within yourself. This is why some people attract extraordinary circumstances, while others remain trapped in cycles they desperately wish to escape. The difference is not luck. The difference is identity. You are not merely experiencing life. You are participating in its creation. Every thought accepted with feeling, every image held with faith, every emotion repeated in consciousness is shaping your future. The world around you is not punishing you. It is reflecting you. And if you wish to experience a different reality, you must first become different inwardly. Perhaps you have spent years believing that success belongs to others. Perhaps you have carried invisible wounds that taught you to expect disappointment. Maybe you learned to prepare yourself for failure because hope felt dangerous. But listen carefully. Your past is not your prophecy. Your previous experiences are not permanent definitions. The person you have been does not determine the person you are becoming. There comes a moment when you must stop identifying with delay and start identifying with fulfillment. You must stop introducing yourself to life through your fears and begin introducing yourself through your possibilities. Because life recognizes who you believe yourself to be. If deep within you feel unworthy, you will unconsciously reject what belongs to you. But when you begin to feel deserving, when you begin to carry yourself as someone whose blessings are inevitable, your entire experience begins to shift. Do not underestimate the power of your imagination. Imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the workshop where reality is designed. Everything that exists externally first existed invisibly. Every achievement, every invention, every transformation began as an inner image embraced by faith. The invisible always precedes the visible. And perhaps right now, while you think nothing is happening, countless things are moving beyond your awareness. Doors are aligning. Conversations are taking place. Circumstances are rearranging themselves. Opportunities are being prepared. People you have never met are unknowingly becoming part of your future. You cannot see it all because you are standing inside the process. But the process is real. The greatest mistake you can make during this season is to abandon your vision because the evidence has not arrived yet. A farmer does not dig up the seed every morning to check whether it is growing. He trusts the process. He waters the ground. He remains faithful. And eventually, what was invisible becomes undeniable. You are closer than you realize. The breakthrough you have been praying for may not be years away. It may be gathering momentum even now. Life often rewards those who remain faithful during the silence. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is preparation. And as you begin to understand this mystery, something remarkable starts to happen within you. You stop chasing desperately. You stop living from anxiety. Instead, you begin to walk with quiet confidence, knowing that what belongs to you cannot miss you. And it is from this state of certainty that an even deeper truth begins to reveal itself, one that changes the entire relationship between desire and reality itself. There is a hidden law that most people spend their entire lives overlooking. They believe that their desires are separate from them, existing somewhere far away in the future, waiting to be earned through struggle and endless sacrifice. They spend their days chasing, worrying, forcing, and asking themselves when things will finally change. Yet the more they chase, the more they unconsciously affirm that what they seek is absent. They keep telling life, through their emotions and thoughts, that fulfillment is somewhere else. And so, somewhere else is exactly where it remains. But something extraordinary happens when you understand that your desires are not signs of lack. They are signs of destiny. The very fact that something repeatedly calls to your heart is evidence that there is a deeper connection between you and that experience. Desires are not punishments. They are invitations. They are whispers from possibilities that already exist, asking whether you are willing to become the person capable of receiving them. You must begin to see yourself differently, not as someone begging life for favors, but as someone awakening to what has always belonged to them. There is a profound difference between hoping for abundance and expecting abundance. Hope often carries uncertainty. Expectation carries faith, and faith has a strange power. It changes your posture. It changes your energy. It changes the conversations you have with yourself. You stop asking, will it happen? And begin asking, how should I prepare for what I know is coming? This inner shift may appear small, but it transforms everything. Because your external reality cannot consistently contradict your deepest assumptions. If you secretly believe that life is difficult, life will continue presenting situations that confirm that belief. If you believe that disappointment is inevitable, you will unknowingly notice evidence supporting that story. But when you decide that blessings are natural, opportunities become visible. Doors that once seemed hidden suddenly appear. People who once ignored you begin recognizing your value, not because the world changed overnight, but because your consciousness changed first. You must understand that consciousness is like a magnet. It attracts experiences that resonate with what it accepts as true. This is why two people can walk through the same world and have completely different lives. One sees limitation everywhere. The other sees possibilities everywhere. One expects rejection. The other expects favor. And life faithfully mirrors the assumptions held within. Think about how often fear has disguised itself as practicality. How many dreams have been postponed because you convinced yourself to wait for perfect conditions? How many opportunities have you denied yourself because you believed you needed more proof before moving forward? Fear always speaks with the voice of reason, but its purpose is to keep you attached to familiar limitations. It promises safety while quietly stealing possibility. Yet there comes a sacred moment when you become tired of living beneath your potential. You become tired of shrinking your dreams to match your circumstances. You begin to realize that the life you truly desire is not created by reacting to appearances. It is created by remaining faithful to a vision that exists beyond appearances. This is why inner conversations matter so much. The words you whisper to yourself become the atmosphere in which your future grows. If you constantly repeat stories of failure, you nourish failure. If you continuously speak with certainty, gratitude, and expectation, you nourish success. The mind listens to everything you tell it. And over time, those repeated thoughts harden into beliefs, and beliefs eventually become experiences. There are people listening right now who have spent years defining themselves by old disappointments. You have replayed painful memories so many times that they became part of your identity. But memories are not meant to become prisons. They are meant to become lessons. You are not obligated to remain loyal to the person you were when you suffered. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to become someone new. And perhaps the greatest transformation begins when you stop waiting for external permission. No one needs to approve your greatness. No one needs to validate your dreams. You do not need the world to agree with your vision before you believe in it. Many extraordinary realities are born in silence. They begin in moments when nobody else understands. They begin when you decide to trust what you feel within, even when your eyes have not yet seen evidence. Because there are seasons when life appears unchanged, while everything is being rearranged beneath the surface. What seems like delay is often divine timing. What appears to be rejection is sometimes redirection. And what feels like emptiness is often preparation for something too magnificent to arrive prematurely. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not abandoned by life. There are forces moving beyond your current understanding. There are blessings that require alignment, and alignment takes place first within. And as you continue to cultivate this inner certainty, another mystery begins to reveal itself, one that explains why some people experience sudden transformations that appear miraculous to everyone around them, while they themselves know that those miracles began long before anyone else could see them. The future depends on what you do today. Mahatma Gandhi. And this is where many people become confused when they witness someone experiencing what appears to be a sudden miracle. They see a person rise from obscurity into abundance. They watch opportunities multiply, relationships heal, doors open, and dreams unfold with astonishing speed. To the outside world, it seems as though everything happened overnight. But what they cannot see are the invisible years that came before. They cannot see the inner battles, the quiet moments of faith, the countless times that person chose belief over fear, even when circumstances offered no encouragement. You must understand that every visible breakthrough is the shadow of an invisible transformation. Long before the world recognizes a change, consciousness has already accepted it. Long before abundance appears in the hands, it first appears in the mind. Long before victory manifests in experience, it has already become natural within the heart. This is why true change begins in silence. It begins when nobody is applauding you. It begins when no one knows what you are becoming except you. There is tremendous power in remaining faithful during seasons when nothing seems to make sense. Most people abandon their dreams because they expect immediate evidence, but reality often rewards those who remain steady while appearances remain unchanged. The unseen world does not operate according to impatience. It responds to consistency. It responds to conviction. It responds to the person who refuses to surrender their vision simply because time has not yet revealed what eternity has already prepared. Perhaps you have questioned yourself many times. Perhaps there were nights when doubt whispered that nothing was changing. Perhaps you looked around and wondered why others seemed to move forward while your own desires remained hidden beneath the surface. But what if those seasons were never punishments? What if they were periods of preparation? What if life was strengthening your spirit so that when abundance arrived, you would possess the wisdom to sustain it? Sometimes the greatest blessings require a greater version of you. Not because life wishes to withhold goodness, but because certain experiences demand expanded awareness. A larger dream requires deeper faith. Greater opportunities require greater self-concept. Extraordinary manifestations require inner stability. And so life patiently works within you before revealing what it has prepared around you. Think of how often people ask, "When will it happen?" without asking, "Who am I becoming while I wait?" Yet the person you become during the waiting season determines how you experience the arriving season. Waiting is never wasted when it is used for inner growth. The hidden years are not empty years. They are sacred years. They are the years in which roots deepen and character strengthens. They are the years in which your consciousness learns to carry what your heart desires. And there is something beautiful that begins to happen when you stop fighting time. You discover peace. You discover that desperation fades when trust becomes stronger than fear. You no longer measure your life by temporary appearances. You begin measuring your life by your inner state. You understand that joy does not have to wait until circumstances change. Confidence does not have to wait until money appears. Gratitude does not have to wait until success becomes visible. Because the secret that transforms everything is this: you do not become grateful because you received. You receive because you became grateful. You do not become peaceful because life finally cooperated. Life begins to cooperate because peace became your natural atmosphere. Everything flows outward from within. And when your inner world changes, your outer world has no choice but to eventually follow. This is why you must protect your mind from voices that feed limitation. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some people are committed to doubt because doubt feels familiar. They will tell you to expect less. They will encourage you to remain realistic, as though realism means accepting mediocrity. But there is a difference between denying reality and refusing to worship it. Temporary conditions are not permanent truths. What you see today is only a snapshot, not the entire story. Your life is still unfolding. Your story is still being written. There are chapters that have not yet been revealed. There are encounters that will change everything. There are opportunities making their way toward you even now. There are answers to prayers that are closer than you imagine. The reason you feel something stirring within your soul is because part of you already senses that change is approaching. And perhaps that is why you have been drawn to these words. Not by accident, but because something deep within you is beginning to awaken. Something ancient and powerful is reminding you that you were never meant to live imprisoned by fear, regret, or limitation. You were meant to live from a consciousness of abundance, peace, and certainty. Because there is one final truth that few people ever truly understand. It is the truth that dissolves anxiety, ends the exhausting struggle, and reveals why everything you have desired may already be much closer than your senses have allowed you to believe. And once this truth becomes alive within you, you will never look at yourself, your dreams, or your future in the same way again. The kingdom of God is within you, Jesus Christ. And perhaps this simple truth contains the answer that humanity has been seeking for centuries. Everything you have been searching for externally has always had its origin within. The peace you desire, the abundance you seek, the love you long for, the purpose that calls to your soul. None of these are foreign gifts that life arbitrarily distributes to a fortunate few. They are states of consciousness waiting to be accepted, embodied, and expressed through you. And once you understand this, you stop living like a beggar asking life for permission and begin living like a creator entrusted with infinite possibilities. You begin to realize that your greatest power has never been your circumstances. It has never been your education, your connections, or even your past experiences. Your greatest power has always been your ability to choose the meaning you assign to life. For meaning creates emotion, emotion shapes belief, and belief molds experience. The world outside is constantly changing, but the world within determines how you experience that change. There are people who spend their entire lives waiting for certainty before they move forward. But certainty does not come from seeing the whole path. It comes from trusting the next step. The greatest transformations occur when faith becomes stronger than appearances. Not blind faith, but the quiet confidence that whispers, "I know something beautiful is unfolding, even if I cannot yet see it." And perhaps this is why so many blessings seem to arrive all at once. Because life is not always linear. Sometimes it is exponential. Sometimes years of invisible preparation suddenly release themselves into visible expression. Sometimes a single conversation changes your direction. Sometimes one opportunity opens 10 more. Sometimes one decision alters generations. What appears sudden to the eyes is often the result of countless unseen moments of inner alignment. That is why you must never judge your journey by the current chapter. A chapter is not the entire book. A difficult season is not your identity. A delay is not a denial. An obstacle is not a prophecy. Life has a way of surprising those who refuse to surrender their vision. And often, just when people are tempted to abandon hope, the very things they have been praying for begin to reveal themselves. So stop measuring your future by your present circumstances. Stop using temporary conditions to define eternal possibilities. You are not trapped by what has happened. You are not limited by where you started. You are not disqualified because of mistakes. You are not forgotten because progress appears invisible. The same power that transforms seeds into forests and darkness into dawn is still active within existence itself. And you are part of that mystery. Imagine waking up every morning without fear. Imagine carrying yourself with the calm assurance that what belongs to you cannot be taken away. Imagine speaking to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. Imagine expecting miracles instead of disasters. Imagine walking through life knowing that you are supported by forces greater than your doubts. This is not fantasy. This is the natural state of a mind that has stopped worshipping fear and started trusting possibility. And there will come a day when you look back at the seasons that once confused you. You will remember the nights when nothing seemed to change. You will remember the moments when you questioned everything. And you will smile because you will understand that those silent seasons were never empty. They were sacred. They were preparing you for a life greater than you could have imagined. One day, what you have been seeking will stand before you, and you will realize that it was never a matter of whether it would happen. It was a matter of becoming the person who could recognize and receive it. And when that day arrives, you will understand that life was not working against you. It was working through you. Every challenge strengthened you. Every delay refined you. Every unanswered question guided you toward deeper wisdom. So walk forward with confidence. Speak to yourself with faith. Guard your imagination carefully. Choose thoughts that nourish possibility. Refuse to surrender to appearances. Live as though your prayers are already moving toward fulfillment. Carry gratitude before the evidence arrives. Become inwardly what you wish to experience outwardly. And trust that what is meant for you is already finding its way, because everything you truly desire is not disappearing into the distance. It is not avoiding you. It is not reserved for someone else. It is drawing nearer with every moment you choose faith over fear, vision over doubt, and love over limitation. And perhaps even now, while you are listening to these words, unseen doors are opening, invisible threads are connecting, and blessings beyond your current understanding are preparing to appear. Not little by little, but in ways so beautiful and so unexpected that one day you will quietly smile and say, "It was happening all along."